Good morning, student. Welcome to the biology class. From today, we are going to start the new topic, absorption of root. In the previous lesson, we have studied about that the photosynthesis. So you know that, student, root is the very important part of the plant. It is very necessary part of the plant because why? The root absorb the waters and minerals from the soil and transport to the plant, and the water is the raw material for the photosynthesis. As you know that means root is not only fix the plant in the soil, means root beta, but root is not only fix the plant to the soil, but it also support to supportive functioning of the root is the absorption of waters and minerals from the soil and conduct them into the stem and supply to the leaves, flower and fruits. Got it? What is the roots? Let us start today's video. In this lesson, we are detailed study about that the so many process which is related to the absorption of root, what is the structure of root, and how the root is very important parts of the plant. Let us move towards the today's lecture. See, student, I told you the main function of root to fix the plant. The root is a fixation of the plant into the soil. Means root क्या करता है बेटा? It give the support and it hold the plant in the soil. It also absorb the waters and minerals, nutrient from the soil, and it also supply the upward part of the plant like a leaf. You know, leaf is very important because it is the food factory of plant. Means let us see why the waters and minerals, why the plant needs the waters and minerals. One by one we will see. Already in the previous lesson we have seen photosynthesis. Water is the raw material of the photosynthesis. In the photosynthesis we will detail study about that. How does the water is important in the light dependent phase? What it means, the water is important for the plant by the process of photosynthesis. Next, in the last lesson we have seen this transpiration. Out of 100%, only 2% water is used by the plant for some purpose, and 98% are thrown outside the plant body. Means it also have so many function like a suction force will be create, cooling effect. Already we have seen in the transpiration lesson. Okay, student, and it is very important transportation. As you know that in our body blood is a liquid state, and the oxygen nutrient which is mixed into the blood, and this blood is transport the oxygen and nutrient to all parts of the body. Same like that, water is also liquid medium, and it is also solution which is absorbed by the root, and the nutrient glucose which is made by the leaf which mix into the water, and this water is transport to the nutrient, water, minerals to the all parts of the body. Means the water is also help to the plant for the transportation. Got it? And mechanical function means mechanical stiffness. We have seen the turgidity, flaccidity, the functioning of stomata, closing and opening of the stomata. We have seen when the guard cells will absorb the more water and swell up, that time the stomata is open. What it means, it is given the mechanical stiffness to the parts of the plant. We have seen when the water are present in the leaf, that times the leaf become a stiffness, is a stand upright. Otherwise there is no water, the leaf is wilting. Wilting means मुरझा जाते बेटा, नीचे गिर जाते. Means the water is also giving the stiffness. What it means, see, we have the balloon, we have seen some balloon apparatus, balloon toys. Whenever we fill the air in the balloon is a stand, otherwise it is the fall down. Got it? Same like that, the water is provide the turgidity for the plant tissue. Understood, student? Why the root, why the plant need the waters and minerals. Next we see what is the characteristics which are present in the roots so root can absorb the water. One by one we will see. First characteristics of the root is a surface, enormous surface area. Means see student, this is the plant, their roots is a very covered by the very long distance. Means see, I will giving one example. If there is two roots, one is the taproot, okay, and another is the fibrous root. In the lower classes you will study about that fibrous root and taproot. The taproot have a low number of roots, means यहाँ पे roots की numbers कम है, but in the fibrous root there are the large number of roots, so there is the large surface area to absorb the waters and minerals from the soil, and due to these characteristics the roots can absorb the water from the soil. Understood बेटा? First characteristics मीन्स बेटा जो प्लांट है उसके रूट्स बहुत डिस्टेंस कवर करते हैं. द रूट्स इज वेरी वेरी रूट हेयर्स, नंबर ऑफ रूट हेयर्स आर प्रेजेंट ऑन द रूट्स and there the surface area is a huge, and due to this huge surface area the root can absorb the large amount of water. Understood? These characteristics have roots, so the root can absorb the more water. Next characteristics of the root is the root here contain the cell sap of the high concentration than that of the surrounding of the water. Means see, I will explaining with the figure. See student, this is the structure of root here. The root here, first of all I will explain this top point. The second, the root here have a thin cell wall. देखो बेटा, this is the root here. Their root here have a thin permeable membrane. The outermost layer it is called as the cell wall, and inner layer is called as the cell membrane. Cell wall is a freely permeable membrane, means the any materials which is allowed inside and outside through by the cell wall, because it is the freely permeable membrane. कुछ भी अंदर जा सकता है रूट्स के और बाहर आ सकता है. It is not semi permeable membrane, but the cell membrane is a semi permeable membrane. The selectively material which is can enter inside the root. Got it? Means the cell membrane is the semi-permeable membrane which is allowed only the important material which is required by the plant, which is absorbed. Got it? And this is the cytoplasm. This is the cytoplasm. In the cytoplasm contain the cell sap. Cell sap means what student? देखो बेटा, अगर आपने कोरिएंडर की लीफ ले लो, when we are break the stem, some little water come outside. देखो बेटा, अगर आपने छोटा सा स्टेम ले लिया और उस स्टेम को कट कर दिया तो कुछ वाटर ड्रॉपलेट्स बाहर आ जाते हैं. वो ड्रॉपलेट्स क्या है बेटा? वो सेल सैप है. सेल सैप मीन्स व्हाट? द सेल सैप कंटेन द वाटर एंड मिनरल्स एंड न्यूट्रिएंट. मीन्स सेल सैप लाइक अ ब्लड. हमारे बॉडी में ब्लड होता है. इट कंटेन द न्यूट्रिएंट, वाटर्स, मिनरल्स. सेम लाइक दैट इन द सेल सैप contain the waters and minerals. Got it? In the cell sap, it is we have studied in the cell lesson. The plant cell have a large vacuoles. The animal cell have a small vacuoles. Why the plant cell need the large vacuoles? Because in the large vacuoles, the plant can store the cell sap. Plant क्या कर सकता है vacuoles में? Cell sap store कर सकता है. Due to this cell sap, means देखो बेटा, in the cell sap contain the water as well as minerals. Means as compared to the soil, the cell sap contain the high concentration of the minerals. Due to the high concentration of the minerals, there is the means यहाँ पे water का concentration कम है बेटा as compared to the soil. So the movement of water molecule from the higher concentration to the lower concentration. Due to this root here contain the cell sap high concentration that its surrounding. Let us again revise it. The vacuoles contain the cell sap. In the cell sap is the composition of waters and minerals. Got it? Means in the cell sap, low concentration of water as compared to the surrounding. Surrounding में जो water है बेटा, there is the high concentration of water. And in the cell sap, low concentration of water. Due to this cell sap, the movement of water molecule from high concentration to the low concentration. Due to these characteristics, the root can absorb the surrounding water. Got it, beta? Let us revise the characteristics of the root here. The root have an enormous surface area. Due to this enormous surface area, the large amount of water can absorb the root. Understood? Second characteristics, the root here contain the cell sap. I explain you cell sap means the vacuoles which contain the liquid. There is the high concentration of minerals and low concentration of water as compared to the surrounding. So there is the high concentration of water. So movement of water molecule from high concentration to the low concentration. So the root here contain the cell sap, the high concentration of the sap than surrounding water. Due to this concentration, the outer water is enter into the cell sap. Means due to these characteristics, the root can absorb the waters from the surrounding. Understood? And the root here have a thin cell wall. मैंने आपको बताया रूट हेयर में 2 layers होते बेटा. Outer is called as the cell wall, is a freely permeable membrane. It allowed the any substance which is enter and exit from the cell, from the roots. The cell membrane, it is a semi-permeable membrane. The membrane is a very thick, and this membrane is only absorb, means this membrane is only allowed the selective material which is enter and exit from the cell. In the root here have a large vacuoles. It contain the cell sap. Due to the high concentration of cell sap, the root here can absorb the water from the soil. Due to these three important characteristics, the root can absorb the more water from the soil. Understood beta? ये characteristics, if you have any doubt regarding these characteristics, you will send the comment through by the comment box. Next topic of this lesson, there is the so many important definition, so many important process. Due to help this phenomena, the root can absorb the waters and minerals from the soil. The diffusion, osmosis, imbibition. In the previous classes already you have studied about that, what is mean by diffusion, what is mean by osmosis. But in this topic we have to detailed study about this, means the more advanced functioning which is present. First upon we will see what is mean by diffusion. Diffusion means what, student? Diffusion is the pre-movement of substance from the region of their higher concentration to the region of their lower concentration when the two are direct contact is called as the diffusion. हमने transportation in plant in the 8th standard we have study about that. The diffusion is a process, is very important process for all living things, not only the plant, all living organism. It is very important, the diffusion means the process. See, I will show you one example. I will take the one beaker. In the beaker there is the water. Whenever I put few drops of the ink into the water, what happen? First upon, the water is a colorless. When I put the 2-3 drops of the ink in the water, that time, see, there is the high concentration of ink, there is the high concentration of water. So what happen? There is the high concentration of ink, there is the low concentration of ink. So movement of the ink molecule from the region of the higher concentration to the region of lower concentration through by direct contact, this is called as the diffusion. Understood? Same like that beta, in the plant the root is absorb the water from the soil. In the soil there is the high concentration of water and minerals as compared to the root here. So, by the process of diffusion, root can absorb the waters and minerals from the higher concentration to the lower concentration through by the direct contact. Got it? In a leaf, we have seen in the atmosphere there is the high concentration of carbon dioxide. Through by the stomata, in the lower concentration of carbon dioxide in the leaf. So, through by the stomata, the leaf can absorb the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere by the process of diffusion. In human being also, see, in the respiration in human being, I explain about that. In alveoli, whenever we by the respiration in breathing we are breathe in the oxygen. In the alveoli there is the कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड्स आर प्रेजेंट मीन्स द ब्लड. देखो बेटा, आपने सीखा है बेटा 8th स्टैंडर्ड में alveoli is the part of respiratory system. We are the through by the in the process of breathing we breathe the oxygen from atmosphere and this oxygen is mixed into the in the blood by the process of diffusion. Diffusion जो alveoli होते बेटा which is made by the single layer of the squamous epithelial cell. So the oxygen concentration is high in the lungs as compared to the alveoli. There is the high concentration of carbon dioxide. The movement of the oxygen from high concentration to the low concentration by the process of diffusion. Same like that, the carbon dioxide is the high concentration. It is also movement of high concentration to the lower concentration by the process of diffusion in the single cell organism like amoeba. Amoeba is the single cell organisms. It absorbs the oxygen from outside by the process of diffusion. Means diffusion में क्या होता है बेटा? Movement of any molecule. Instead it is the liquid, it is the solid, it is the gaseous. Means see, whenever we are using the room freshener in the room, we are spray one part of the room and this gas is sprayed all over our room because the gas is passing from the higher concentration to the lower concentration. Same like that, it's solid also. Is the solid thing is also transfer from high concentration to the lower concentration. Diffusion समझ में आ गया बेटा? One experiment which is given in your textbook, it is the diffusion of the soluble dye in the water. I told you it is the two beaker, there is the water in the beaker. When we put 2-3 drops of the ink, there is the high concentration of ink. The movement of the ink molecule from the high concentration to the low concentration, this is called as the diffusion. Got it beta? Diffusion. One remaining definition is the imbibition. See, imbibition. Imbibition means what, student? Imbibition means the phenomena by which living or dead cell absorb the water from the surface area. Imbibition means what? The living, instead the dead plant cell absorb the water by the surface area. Means see student, whenever we put the dry seed into the water, the dry seed, their outer covering is very dry, but there is a, whenever we put the dry seed in the water, they absorb the water from the surrounding. This is called as the imbibition. It's a good example. Now with the rainy season, the door, it is the dead cell. Our door is made from the wooden door. It is the dead cell. But whenever the moisture in the atmosphere, our door is a swell up. It is very hard to close. What it? It is the daily your experience in the rainy season. Our door is just swelling up, so it is very hard to close and lock it. Got it? By the process of imbibition, the living or dead plant cell absorb the water from the surface area. This is called as the imbibition. Understood student? Diffusion and imbibition. Next important definition is the osmosis. Osmosis, it is very important definition. Osmo means water. Means water. Osmosis means what, student? The movement of only water molecule. The movement of only water molecule from the region of high concentration to the region of their low concentration through by semi-permeable membrane is called as the osmosis. Understood? Diffusion and osmosis both are same. But in the diffusion, any molecule, instead it is a liquid, it is a solid, it is a gaseous, movement of higher concentration to the lower concentration. It is called as a diffusion. And osmosis means only water molecule, only movement of water molecule from the region of higher concentration to the region of lower concentration is called as the osmosis. And with the help of osmosis, the root can absorb the water from the surrounding. Because I explain you, see, this is the structure of root here. There is the high concentration of water as compared to the cell sap. There is the low concentration of water. By the process of osmosis, the water molecule, there is a high concentration of water. The movement of water molecule from region of the high concentration to the region of low concentration through by semi-permeable membrane. Cell membrane is a semi-permeable membrane. This is called as the osmosis. There are two terms of osmosis: outward osmosis and inward osmosis. Inward osmosis, there have a two terms. See, endoosmosis and exoosmosis. Endo means inside, the movement of water molecule inward, and exo means outward. See, I will explain you with the help of example. See, I will take the two beaker. In the first beaker, there is the water. In the first beaker, I take a water, and the second beaker, I take a sugar solution. Means it is the high concentration of sugar. And there is the water molecule. Got it? Whenever I put the cell inside the water, means देखो मैंने अगर cell, I put the cell inside the water, what happen? As compared to the surrounding, is the cell is the low concentration of water, because it contains the nutrient also, minerals also. As compared to the water, there is the low concentration of water. So the movement of water molecule is the inward, and the cell become a swelling up. एंडोऑस्मोसिस में क्या होता है? सेल क्या बन जाती है? स्वेल हो जाती है, स्वेल अप. गॉट इट? Endoosmosis means the inward diffusion of water through by the semi-permeable membrane. This is the less concentration, means as compared to the cell, there is the water, means the water molecule is the high concentration as compared to the cell. So inward diffusion and cell become a swell up. Got it? In the sugar solution, there is the low concentration of water. Whenever I put the cell into the sugar solution, as compared, means it also contains the water. There is the sugar solution, means high concentration of sugar and low concentration of water. So what happen? When we put the cell into the sugar solution, the outward movement of the water and the cell become a shrink. Cell become a shrink. This is called as the exoosmosis, means outward diffusion. Got it? Osmosis, exoosmosis and endoosmosis. Endoosmosis means what? Inward diffusion of water, because the outer surrounding is a high concentration of water as compared to the cell is the low concentration of water. So movement of the water from high concentration to the low concentration, so the cell become a swell up. And when the cell put in the sugar solution, in the sugar solution there is the low concentration of water and high concentration of sugar as compared to the cell, the outward movement of the water. Got it? I will give one example. देखो बेटा, whenever we put the resins into the water, it become a swell up. Why? Because there is the low concentration of the resins, there is the low concentration of waters in the resins. When we put into the water is move inward. This is called as the endoosmosis. आणि वही अगर हमने शुगर सॉल्यूशन में डाला the resins become the shrink up. Because why? The outer is the high concentration of sugar solution. Remaining definition, osmotic pressure, turgidity, active transport, I will explain in the next topic. Understood student? In this video we have seen the structure of root, the characteristics of the roots, and two important definition, osmosis and diffusion. Got it student? Understood student? Thank you.